Good morning, it's Barbara. It is beautiful outside and it's going to be very warm. I'm wearing summer clothes. Holy cow. Good morning, it's Barbara. It's late-ish, you know. One thing I've been doing lately is I've been waking up after falling asleep for about an hour, hour and a half, and then I'm awake for an hour and a half. It's very annoying. It's a little bit like I took a nap. Which means I'm not getting up early. Anyway, good morning. It's a beautiful day. Gonna be hot. It's gonna be 80. Yeah. I'm glad it wasn't this warm over the weekend, or they wouldn't be people wouldn't be wearing their Rhinebeck sweaters. That would have been a drag. Although I have no idea what the temperature is in upstate New York. Right now, I mean, what's expected. But anyway, so yeah. So yesterday, I knit. I worked on my Montrealer. Next time I have it out here with me, I'll show you the pattern again. The handsome young man is the designer. It's called the Montrealer, and it's a hooded sweatshirt style. So if there's more than one Montrealer, that's how you will find it. It's a unisex. Several people have suggested I just go with the hand spun. I just have the natural color wool stripes along with my teal. And I am kind of leaning that way a little bit. Although I don't know how much other yarn I'm going to need. It's hard to tell. My knitting last night took me almost, not quite, to the place where I was when I tore back. So today I will get to that place and beyond, so I will have lost only a couple of days of knitting, which is something that happens in the past to me quite regularly when I changed my mind about something and went back. But I have a long way to go before I get back to where I was in my yarn ball in terms of having already knitted. So I'm saving myself a lot of yarn by fixing that and making it a more appropriate size for me. However, I'm only a couple inches from where I split for the sleeves, and I have 3 balls of that yarn, the Cormo. I just have a feeling it's not going to be quite enough. So I just want to add in a few stripes. I need to think about the stripes and how I want them. I don't necessarily want a very light color beige bottom to this sweatshirt that I'm knitting. So I do want to put the stripes in the middle. It's not running, so I don't have to worry about that. And yeah. So I want to think about where do I want to put that extra yarn to make sure that I have enough yarn for the garment. So I'm still thinking about it, but I may just go with the hand spun as my contrast color. Because I thought it looked good. A bright, crisp delineation, as someone said. So yeah, so I'm still thinking about it. I got time. I got plenty of time before I have to put in that first stripe. And then I have to figure out my plan for the stripes. I could do a random stripe, which is basically roll a dice every time I think it's time for a stripe and just see how many rows I should be making. Maybe keep a consistent number of main color rows in between like 4, and then whatever number comes up on the die. I did that with my Boneyard shawl that I made. It's a Stephen West. I think it's like his first pattern. I think it's called the Boneyard, and it's free. And I just took 2 dice for that and threw the dice to decide, because it's striped, to decide how many rows in my stripe. It was fun. I will admit that I didn't always do what the dice said if I didn't think it was going to work, but for the most part I did. And I'm making no promises that I would do, you know, like if I roll 1 4 times in a row, I'm not going to, you know, so maybe I should roll 2 dice and then I'll know I'm not going to be doing 1 row. Although, since I'm knitting in the round, 1 row is perfectly doable. So, anyway, whatever. So that's mainly what I did. Just rummaging around on TV, finding something to watch while I knit. Maybe I need to rummage around in the library and find books on audiobooks to see if I can knit and listen to a book. The book I picked was too dense. I need something really light. I need a light book. So I will maybe look around for that and have something. I am going to be on the deck today, even though the view is not so good. The flowers got frosted. One night got too cold and they are not thriving. But it's still nice to be outside. And it's, you know, every day after today is going to be cooler until we're back to cold. So, yeah. Dennis has got the little hand vacuum out doing something. I'm not sure what. The last time he got it out, he was trying to vacuum all the little pieces of tissue out of the washing machine. Because we did Aura's wash, and she has tissues in her pocket, which we have not been that good about checking for. And so her clothes have all little pieces of tissue all over them. And it stays in the washer. Anyway, hold on. I just asked him, but he said no, it wasn't tissue, it was coffee. Some coffee grounds spilled, so he was getting them up. But meanwhile, it is gorgeous out here, so I will be out a little while this afternoon. Yeah. I am voting today. We got our ballots in the mail yesterday, so we will be voting. All 3 of us will be voting today. And then I wonder, does that mean that all the commercials automatically stop and I don't have to see any more campaign commercials on my phone or on my TV? What do you say? Do you think that's going to happen? I can't wait for this campaign season to be over. But I will vote today. And then mute. Of course, I've been muting anyway. I've been muting. I can't take it. And all my channels have commercials on them now. Netflix will change their policy, and I guess I can upgrade and pay a little more. Well, what they did was they charging me less, but now I have to have commercials. And it's like, why do I have to pay at all if there's commercials? You know? Why isn't it now a free service with commercials, just like broadcast television? But it is not. So, everywhere I go, I have commercials. Although I do like the way Peacock does commercials for movies. Like if you're going to watch a movie on Peacock, and you have to pay for Peacock, I think it's like $5 a month. But they put a string of, 2 minutes of commercials, 3 minutes of commercials, maybe 3 minutes of commercials. Before the movie. You know, so I have it muted for 3 minutes, and then I unmute, and then the movie, they don't interrupt the movie with commercials. Netflix interrupts the movie with commercials. It's very annoying. So anyway, and of course now they're campaign commercials, which is even more annoying. So I got some equipment over here. So anyway, I'm hoping once I vote that everybody will get the message. I already voted. I cannot be persuaded about anything. And so don't even try. I don't think it's going to work like that. If I continue to find things I want to watch on Netflix, I might upgrade. And in fact, there was one thing that I looked at, and it said, this isn't available to you on your plan. Do you want to upgrade your plan? Which I thought was highly suspicious. So I don't know what I'm going to do with my TV. I'm really the only one who watches, or watches once in a while if I have something on. Dennis doesn't watch TV. We used to watch things together, but we haven't seen anything. He hasn't watched anything on television besides the waterhole in Namibia for weeks and weeks and weeks. So it's all for me. So I need to figure out what I want to do, since nobody else cares. Figuring out what I want to do is not the easiest thing, you know, as you might have imagined. Anyway, I'm rambling about things that you don't care about. If you have a service, well, Christy likes PBS. She gets PBS on demand. And I guess it's a service that she pays for. And they have, you know, good mysteries and things like that. So I'll think about that. But anyway, all right. Now I really am rambling. So I'm going to stop doing that. I know I can, I'm sure. Anyway, I did my yoga yesterday. I did my coffee this morning. My coffee, I feel like, is getting easier. So either the beans, these new beans, these 1002 beans are easier to grind than the other ones, or I am getting stronger, which is much more likely. Someone said I seem happier, and I think I am feeling happier. The weather helps. Having the bright sunny days helps me. I think the yoga is helping me, even though, and I am feeling it in my body, but I'm doing the easy chair yoga. Easy chair yoga is like almost nothing, but not quite nothing. So I am feeling it in my body a little bit, but I'm feeling it in my spirit much more. And having this little morning routine where I'm kind of doing things for myself, grinding my coffee, doing my yoga, talking to you, these things, I think are making me happy. I mean, I still have my moments. But yeah, I am feeling a little bit happier than I was feeling before. So that's a good thing. Oh, I got a call from Manny this morning. He's coming tomorrow to put in my bulbs. I told him I wanted scads and scads and scads of bulbs, and he's going to come in and plant my fall bulbs for me. Because he does lawns in the summertime, and it's been so dry that the lawns aren't growing. And it's, you know, a little early for fall cleanup, because it's, you know, because I said you could look around and see what you can clean up, and he's like, yeah, but it's just going to look bad in a day, you know, in a couple days. And I'm like, well, there is that. I talked to him about, you know, clearing out the gutters too, but the only problem with our gutters is if it rains really hard, then we might end up with water in our basement again. But we have a lot of leaves left to fall, so we're going to have them cleaned again at the beginning of December to get the final leaves out. So this is just a preliminary if he can do it, but he's trying to decide if he wants to buy a ladder. He can borrow his brother's ladder, but it's awkward on his truck, and apparently he doesn't want to drive around with it all day. I'm like, okay, you can leave it here and pick it up when you're done. Whatever. Anyway, okay, so we're getting the bulbs planted, and I'm getting tulips and daffodils. I'm having Manny, you know, work on my yard for early spring. I want an early spring beautiful arrangement to help me come out of the winter into the spring, because right now I don't have very much. I have those tiny little daffodils that are only this tall that were, you know, surprise, a couple of years ago. Maybe I'll water my forsythia today, just so that he doesn't think that I've been neglecting him, although he's going to be able to tell by looking at them. But anyway. And he might start my peony bed. I'm going to have 3 peonies over here along the fence, because I love peonies too. Should have been doing this 20 years ago, and then these things would all be big and grown. And although I had a peony and it never thrived, so I am not holding my breath for the peonies, but I'm hoping. I can hope. Hoping works. All right, and now I really am going. Please take good care of yourselves. I hope everyone is recovering well from anything they need to recover from, and I hope you're taking good care of yourself. Please take care of yourself. Stay safe and stay safe.